What's up, guys? It's Big Bear 77 back at you with a real quick video. Now, I know that this is not my football channel. This is my other channel. That's okay. I'm doing a mock draft today on this channel. The other channel will be active over the next 3 days as the draft is happening. This is draft day. I'm hoping to get to the movie Draft Day today. I was supposed to watch it last night, but I was watching a hockey game real late, and yeah, disappointment all the way. But anyways, I'll get to that today and do some work and all. I got stuff to get ready for the draft, so I want to get this last minute mock draft down. This is my final mock draft, of course, because the draft is tonight. Hope you guys tune in. Hope you guys love it. I'll be on my other channel. I'll be posting the 49ers draft, who they draft, all that later tonight. But let's get to the mock draft now. Let's do this. We got the 2017 Big Bear 77 mock draft. At number 1, the Cleveland Browns are now on the clock. With the number 1 overall pick, the Cleveland Browns. You know, they could go a couple different ways here. We've all heard it all, Mitch Trubisky. We've heard all that rumors. I think this is way too early to take Mitch Trubisky, and all United fans who want him. There's not very many of you, but there are some of you. It's too early at number 2 too. So I'm not very high on the kid. And I'll get to that later on in this video. But I have the Cleveland Browns taking the best player in the draft, Myles Garrett, defensive end out of Texas A&M. As a UCLA guy, I got to see him last year a little bit, and I got to tell you, Myles Garrett is a good player, a beast on the field, and I think the Cleveland Browns would be foolish to make this mistake, to not take him. Now, then I think the fans might kill them. Just saying. But Myles Garrett, number 1. Now, if they do the unthinkable and take Mitch Trubisky at number 1 or anyone else, also Myles Garrett falls to number 2. Also, the 49ers are fielding the phone calls because they become the richest team in the league if they want, because there's going to be teams who are going to be offering them up all kinds of stuff to get up there to take this kid. So, as a Niner fan, I hope Cleveland screws it up. But as a fan of the NFL, that's who I would take, Myles Garrett. At number 2, the 49ers, I think they could trade out, no doubt about it, and get some draft picks for the future, because you're not going to rebuild overnight. And, Niner fans are hoping for a good, at least a 500 record, something like that. A lot of us are hoping for better, because you always hope for better. I don't care who you are, even if you know you're in rebuilding, you're hoping that you rebuild overnight. You want that. But in reality, the rebuilding overnight is not always going to happen like that. And so a trade would make sense. However, I do not have trades in this draft. So the 49ers taking their, one of the guys I like personally. So at number 2, the 49ers select safety out of LSU, Jamal Adams. I just think he'll be great at the safety position, fixing up the secondary some. That defense needs some work. So I think picking Jamal Adams would be a good pickup here. I think you can get a pretty decent quarterback, as you will tell in my draft, in the second round. I think some of those quarterbacks could fall to the second round. I'm sorry. I'm not high on the quarterback class at all, as you will tell throughout my draft. The Bears at number 3, I think you have to take the guy who everybody expects you to take, and that's Hooker. Malik Hooker, safety out of Ohio State. I just think you have to take the one that everybody expects, because this guy will fix your secondary some, put some work into your secondary, and I just think he's the guy that fits in with the Bears. Next up, we have the Titans with the number 5 pick. Now, this number 5 pick, before I get into it, could be a trade possibility with the Cleveland Browns to move up to get Mitch Trubisky. Now, why would the Cleveland Browns do that? Because I think the Jets could make some noise there, say, hey, wait, we want a quarterback. Also, the Titans make some noise. We really want to trade out. Cleveland goes, okay, the Jets may take Mitch Trubisky. Let's move up and get him. So remember that Mitch Trubisky could be taken at this spot if Cleveland moves up. If Titans hold on to it, however, I think they take the cornerback out of Ohio State, Marshawn Lattimore. Now, I forgot the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sorry, folks. Wow. Number 4, Jacksonville Jaguars take a running back with their first pick. Taking the first running back off the board, Leonard Fournette out of LSU. I like this kid. I even have him as one of the possibilities with the Niners. I actually had 3 possibilities I went through, and I'll get to the other possibility later on in this first 10. Yeah, Leonard Fournette to the Jags. Now, Marshawn Lattimore, cornerback to the Titans. I just think that fixing your secondary is good. Now, folks, if you notice in my top 5, 4 of them are defensive players. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little hint. I'm a defensive guy. I love defense. So I do go a little defense happy sometimes. It gets me in trouble sometimes because I don't fix my offense like I should. But yeah. When I play video games, I go defense happy. At number 6, the Jets. I think they could take the first tight end off the board. Yes, you say get tight end this early, but there's no tight end like O.J. Howard. I like this kid out of Alabama. I think he's just once in a lifetime type prospect. I think he could be a great blocker, a great tight end to fit into this league, and I think the Jets would be foolish enough not to take him. Now, yes, I did say they would make noise about taking a quarterback. I think that after Mr. Trubisky's taken, they will not go quarterback with this pick. That's just my honest opinion. The second running back comes off the board at number 7 with the Chargers. I think they could take Christian McCaffrey. I think he would fit from Stanford. I think he could fit into there and help take some pressure off of Rivers. The Los Angeles Chargers. I don't know if I said San Diego, but Los Angeles Chargers. It's never getting. I'm never gonna get used to that. Number 8, the Panthers take defensive lineman out of Stanford, Solomon Thomas. Now, Solomon Thomas is that third guy I had on the 49ers big board. But I have him falling because the Niners don't take him. I have him falling to number 8 to the Panthers. I think that's a good fit for him. For both of them, Panthers and Solomon Thomas. At number 9, Jonathan Allen, defensive lineman out of Alabama to the Bengals. Now, Jonathan Allen, most people have him projected going from anywhere from number 2 to number 10. Well, that's same with me. I am projected going anywhere in there, and I think he's going to fall in at number 9 to the Bengals. And I think he will fit in perfectly there. Again, this will be a theme of this video, a good fit. So, I don't usually say a perfect fit very often, but I think he could be a perfect fit there for the Bengals. Sorry. Number 10, the Bills. Now, this guy, there's been issues and everything else, and people have him falling down later in the round, and some people I've heard have him falling out of the first round completely because of some of his off-the-field troubles or whatever, and some of the stuff that he's gone through and everything. But anyways, I have at number 10, the Bills taking linebacker out of Alabama, Reuben Foster. That's right, again, defense. I don't know. It's just something about defense. We'll get some offensive players going here pretty soon, okay? But I have him falling there, and I think it'd be a decent fit for the Bills. And I think that there's gonna be teams up there in the top 15 that will have him on the big board still, and one of them, like the Bills, would pull the trigger and take him. At number 11, the Saints. Now this is the one that so far people that I've talked to think I'm crazy. That I even have this pick, defensive end Missouri, Charles Harris. I just think the Saints are going to pull the trigger. Honestly, I just think that's what they're going to do. It's what it is. Next up, I have the Browns at number 12. But the Titans do the trade with the Browns. I do have the Titans taking Mike Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson. But the Browns stay here. Mitch Trubisky. They're high on Mitch Trubisky. They're gonna still get him. He's going to be the only quarterback taken in the first round. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not high on this quarterback class. I honestly think the quarterback out of Clemson, Deshaun Watson, is the best one out of the bunch. And he's the one that the Niners traded back. I wouldn't mind the Niners getting. Not high on Mitch Trubisky. I don't know if I would pull the trigger when you're rebuilding to get a Mitch Trubisky. I'm sorry. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I would like the Arizona Cardinals to totally screw up this pick because they're a rival. However, I have the Arizona Cardinals taking Hassan Reddick, linebacker out of Temple. I just like Riddick. I'm a personal fan of Riddick's. I really don't want him to go here, but I honestly think that they could fix that linebacking core. You know, Washington just got reinstated, but what are they going to do with him? Are they going to keep him? Are they going to play him? Are they going to cut him? What's going to go on with him after all the off-the-field troubles or whatever? And putting Riddick here, you have that option to do something. So next up, we have the Eagles at number 14. I think the Eagles, you know, they could take one or two wide receivers, John Ross or Mike Williams. They could also take Davis here, but I highly doubt it. So I have the Eagles taking Mike Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson. I just think that they could add him to their receiving core. I think he could be the top receiver. I like Davis personally. Personally, I think Davis is the better receiver out of these three. However, I don't have Davis going this high. So next up, the Colts. Now the Colts may reach a little bit here. I do like this kid playing cornerback, Kevin King out of Washington. Now a lot of people have him going to the Raiders. He's an Oakland boy. Why not? I don't. I have the Colts jumping here at 15 to take him, and he's off the board. Number 16, Baltimore Ravens. Now this one, I knew nothing. I don't nothing what they would do. I think that the best bet is go after a cornerback, safety, someone like that. And I do have them taking Marlon Humphrey out of Alabama, the cornerback. So I have them fixing the cornerback needs that they need. And then we got the Washington Redskins. Now the Washington Redskins lost Pierre this year to the 49ers. Do they need a receiver? Yeah, they could use one really good. And so I do have them taking a receiver, John Ross, out of Washington, goes to the Washington Redskins. I did have them taking, possibly taking Chiab Awuzie, cornerback out of Colorado. I can't even pronounce his name. You guys know who I'm talking about. However, I end up having them taking John Ross, which will drop the cornerback out of the first round. So he goes from possibly going at number 17 to not even going in the first round. Next up, we have the Titans. I think the Titans need to fix the offensive line, protect Mariota, right? Why not do it with Cam Robinson, the offensive tackle out of Alabama? Now, I did have Cam Robinson possibly going different places. The Seahawks are one of the teams that could have possibly jumped and got him. The 49ers, as they traded back, could have possibly jumped and got him. But I have the Titans taking him at number 18. I think protecting Mariota should be a number one priority. The Buccaneers, hey, go running back, right? Go with Dalvin Cook out of Florida State. I think this will be a perfect fit. He stays in Florida. He's going to be a fan favorite automatically there in Buccaneer Town. So, yeah, Dalvin Cook out of Florida State. The Broncos taking another one. I really have trouble pronouncing names sometimes. Tight end out of Miami, David Njoku. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyways, taking the second tight end in the first round, that's pretty cool. Tight end's kind of coming off the board a little bit. But I think the Broncos could take him and he could fit in right there. I don't know if he's a day one starter or not, but he could fit in there for sure. The Lions will be the team that jumps and gets Corey Davis. Yes, I have Corey Davis falling all the way from up there where Washington is, where Philadelphia is. A guy I like, and I would have put up that high, but I just didn't feel like those teams were going to jump and get him. I have the Lions getting him at 21. The Lions could do a lot with him. So the wide receiver out of Western Michigan, Corey Davis going to the Lions at 21. 22, we have the Fins. Now this is another lineman off the board, Western Kentucky. We're going to get a couple linemen here pretty soon. Oh, by the way, I lied. There's a quarterback coming up pretty soon. But he's out of Western Kentucky. Forrest Lamp, the guard. I just feel like, you also want to protect Tannehill. A lot of people believe he's your guys' quarterback for the future. And, maybe he is, whatever. And he's been pretty good out there in Miami. But you want to protect him and keep him healthy. You got to fix it, make sure the offensive line is good. The Fins take Forrest Lamp. The Giants taking another offensive lineman here. Garrett Borles out of Utah. Again, Eli Manning. He's your quarterback. You want to protect him. Why not protect him with an offensive tackle? The Raiders now. This is where I said King could have gone, but I picked him way earlier. I said the team would jump early and possibly take him. The Raiders taking Malik McDowell, defensive lineman out of Michigan State. I really didn't know where the Raiders would go here. They obviously fixed their running back situation where they wanted it. Honestly, I just went with Malik McDowell here. Next up, 25 Texans. Here's the quarterback that I forgot to mention that, but it's coming off the board also, and it's not one of the quarterbacks that you think. This quarterback, though, I'm not very high on at all, but some people are out there. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback out of Texas Tech, coming off the board to the Texans. The Texans need a quarterback. We all know that. So there's their quarterback. Next up, the Seahawks, who I had taken an offensive lineman all the way up until this morning. That's right. Till this morning, I switched the picks a little bit up, and I have the Seahawks. Where am I? Okay. Jumping and taking Garon Conley, the cornerback out of Ohio State. I just feel like someone's going to take him in the first round. You know, all this talk about the trouble and stuff, around this pick is where he will go. And I think the Seahawks will be the team to jump and takes him. And giving another cornerback just to be on the other side of he who must not be named. Next up, I have the Chiefs also going cornerback, safety type player. Chiefs taking Obi Melifonwu. Man, these names. Anyways, out of Connecticut. So staying at that, and we're going cornerback again with the Dallas Cowboys with Tre'Davious Wright out of LSU. I think that the Cowboys need a cornerback. That defense, the offense is looking really good, and I'll give them credit where credit is due. But that defense is not so much, and you're going to need a defense if you want to get to the next level. Next up at number 29, we got the Packers. They're taking T.J. Watt, linebacker out of Wisconsin. I have T.J. Watt going here. I had him a possibility from the Seahawks, a possibility for the Cowboys, and then he ends up going to the Packers. I have him a possibility if he falls back, going to the Steelers also and the Falcons. So, but he doesn't fall back, and he goes to the Packers at 29. At number 30, this is a Steelers pick. I've had this guy from day one for the Steelers. Since I started working on this mock draft, Jabril Peppers. He's the only guy that has stayed true. Besides Myles Garrett, he's the only other guy that has stayed true to my draft. Jabril Peppers, safety out of Michigan, going to the Steelers. I think that's a good add up for the Steelers secondary, and I think that's going to be a good fit. We got two more picks. The Falcons. I think they're going to take Jordan Willis, outside linebacker, also defensive end, to play some defensive end out of Kansas State. I think Willis will be a good fit for the Falcons, and it will fix some. I just think it'll help out with the defense, because you guys like to blame the coach, but some of your defense was an issue in this one. So, Saints. Now Saints, I didn't know where they could go with this number 32 pick. I've gone back and forth, but I have them going Josh Jones, safety out of North Carolina State. I just think that they could go this direction. Anyways, that's my mock draft. Later rounds, as you could tell, I wasn't so confident. I don't know. There's some teams I didn't know what they might do. But that's the funny thing about a mock draft, because all it takes is one team picking a guy that no one expected in the first round, or a guy that no one expected that early, and then all of a sudden everything else is messed up. For example, if the Cleveland Browns do not take Myles Garrett and take Mitch Trubisky number 1, my whole draft's messed up. It's done. I'll be lucky to get one at that point. Right. So, with that being said, that is the mock draft for this year. Hopefully I'm right. I'll come back with a video after the whole draft, the first round is over, probably tomorrow sometime, and let you guys know how many I got right, how did I do, which ones I may be proud of, which ones I thought was a reach, which ones I thought wasn't. But that's what I got. So, thank you guys for watching. I know this is different football, but hey, it's what it is. Everything's in the description down below. Hit that like, comment. Let me know who you think your team may take in the NFL draft if you are a football fan. And that's all I got. Catch you guys later. This is Big Bear signing out. Peace.